Hi, everybody. It's time for today's political energy reading from the swamp. Finally felt like I had enough energy to deal with this, so here goes. Not exactly some of the cards I expected to get. Um, so, card number one, where you are now. Got the Ten of Cups. Card number two, next step. I got the Six of Pentacles, reversed. Card three, the obstacle. I got the Emperor reversed. Card four, strengths and resources. I got the Queen of Cups. And then potential outcome, I got the Knight of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, I got the Seven of Wands. So let's see what that tells us, shall we? All right, where we are now, Ten of Cups. And so I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, okay, well, none of this aligns with what the majority of the people of this country and the world feel. We certainly don't feel divine love or harmony or blissfulness or inner happiness. Um, I think instead, what this is trying to say to me is that this is what spirit wants us to feel all the time, is this kind of happiness, this kind of joy, this kind of bliss. We ain't got it right now. So I think this is like we're still in the beginning stages of all this stuff. So there's a lot of people that still probably kind of resonate here with this because it hasn't reached them yet. But then the next step, I got the Six of Pentacles reversed. That's unpaid debts. Well, we certainly know 47 is famous for that. Um, One-sided charity. He's not even allowed to run a charity anymore. Strings attached. Oh yeah, anything and everything he does is strings attached to it. Power and domination. That's what he's expecting to get. That's what he wants is power, and he wants complete domination over everyone and everything. Okay, then the obstacle. I got the Emperor reversed. So our obstacle is domineering people, controlling people, folks with a lack of discipline, rigid, stubborn, reckless, a tyrant, just waiting with bated breath to take control. Okay. And then for the strengths and resources, I got the Queen of Cups. Now, that's really good for strengths and resources. And I think that speaks to a lot of us who have not bought into the nonsense and haven't drank the Kool-Aid yet. Um, we still have compassion. We still want to nurture those around us in pain or in need. Um, for those of us who are empaths and healers, yeah, we've been going into overdrive with healing others because there is so much pain right now. Um, Emotional stability, intuitive, caring. These are all really great opinions and attitudes to have for this world. And I think the world is waiting on those of us who still operate under the Queen of Cups to kind of be there to help kiss and make it better, I guess would be a good way to put it. And then, of course, the potential outcome, I got the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups, I mean, that's creativity. That's romantic overviews, dealing with charming people, imagination, beauty. A lot of people tend to think of a knight in shining armor or following the heart, your Prince Charming. Um, Yeah, the world doesn't really work like that anymore. But it's nice to know that this is a potential outcome. And we could have this depending upon who's in charge and what they're doing. And then, of course, the bottom of the deck, I got the Seven of Wands. Now that's conflict. That's challenging. That's people fighting amongst themselves. We're seeing a hell of a lot of that right now. Brother fighting against brother, sister fighting against sister, husband against wife, wife against husband. Um, Everybody seems to be on edge and ready to put up their dukes. Let's get down to it, right? Um, and what does that accomplish? There's a time and a place for that kind of conflict. Right now, I think we're straddling the bridge of some of that energy, but at the same time, we are still holding tight to the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. We're waiting for our knight in shining armor to show up and save us, be it by the Hague or ICC or any of the other NATO reports that are coming through. Um, a lot of people are casting their hope and their eyes toward this because they think that's what's going to save us. Now, very well, they might show up and it might do the trick. But right now, personally, I think the only person that can save us is us. That means one step at a time, one person at a time. Um, I know a lot of folks are literally out of F's to give to those who are now regretting their vote and who are kind of starting to wake up. And but that's really not the answer. I mean, it would be real easy to say, "I told you so," and try to rub it in. But what good is that going to do? That's still going to keep us divided. And what we need is to come together and realize red or blue, rich or poor, black or white, it doesn't matter. We're all people wanting to live in a world where things are done in a fair manner. The law applies to everyone, no matter your position or the amount of money you have. Um, we expect our legislators to actually, oh, how to put it, we expect them to actually uphold the laws of our country and our Constitution and to provide for the betterment of the people. That's the whole point of government, is to do what's best for the people as a whole. Is it always going to be one way or the other? No, absolutely not, nor would I want it to be. We have to have those discussions and those conflicts of interest so that we can work towards the middle and decipher and decide on what is best for the majority of the people involved. Does that mean everybody gets their way? Oh, hell no. Will people get hurt in the process? Some would be, yeah. That kind of goes along with it as well. So, looking at these cards, I think the fact that our starting point is the Ten of Cups. This is where a lot of us still are. And I think that having the mentality of the Ten of Cups allows us to hold on to the fantasy of the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. The reality is the wands and the fighting and the conflict. And it's only going to get worse. I keep telling y'all that. The one thing my guides keep telling me and they keep showing me is that it's always darkest before dawn. And we are just starting to hit darkness. We got a ways to go. And, but I think we can make it. I think we can make it because of the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. That's not to say that you ignore reality and only live in the fantasy world. That doesn't do you any good either. But it beats the hell out of living under the Emperor reversed. And so we have to be aware of what's going on. We have to be aware of what it is they're trying to do in the dark, behind closed doors. I mean, we just had that ridiculous presser in the White House the other day where a 4-year-old child kind of took control of the room, wiping his snotty nose on the Resolute desk and telling the President of the United States to shut up. You aren't the president. You need to leave. Hello? I mean, out of the mouth of babes. I've heard several people use that terminology. I mean, growing up in the Deep South, you grow up with a very defined set of good manners. The way you talk to adults, the way that adults look at children. They're better to be seen and not heard. At 4 years old, yeah, that kind of fits. At 14 years old, you might want to listen to them because they might have a better idea of how to handle something than you do. So I think we have to be aware of all of the clues and the circumstances going on around us. That's going to be very, very important. We're not going to be able to mend the right fences and strengthen the country and our people if we stay at each other's throats. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, Native American, Asian American, whatever. When you're poor, you're poor. And you only get ahead by sticking together instead of tearing people apart by saying, well, you may be poor, but at least you're not a minority. Or you may be poor, but look at those people over there. They're getting everything you should have. Well, maybe their situation is so much more dire than yours that they need that extra help. As long as we continue to allow ourselves to be separated and fighting amongst each others, the easier it is for the oligarchs and the elite to steal our money, steal our peace of mind, and steal our country. And that's what's happening to us right now. I mean, there were people who were saying, oh, I'd rather be Russian than be a Democrat. Really? Okay, well, pack your bags and go to Russia. See how much you like it over there. You'll be under Putin's regime then. You think that's going to be fun? Talk to a few people who've managed to escape from Russia. I know a few. Yeah, the difference is night and day. Although the current president is fast trying to bring us there. The fact that they have been hitting us left, right, sideways, upside down, boom, 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 with all this stuff creates nothing but chaos. And that's what he survives on. He survives on chaos. And so until we're willing to put our foot down and say no more, enough is enough, you're not going to get your way, and we're going to stand in the way. Until we get to that moment, it's just going to get worse. It will get better in the long run. My guides have assured me of that. It will get better. But it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. It's not even going to happen next month. It's probably going to take years. It's going to take years just just to fix the mess that we're in. We have now become the laughing stock of the world. Leaders look down upon us now. There are people look down upon us now. They don't see America as that shining light on the hill anymore. They see us as the dregs at the bottom of the cup that nobody wants to look at. So, what do we do about that? Well, it's a good mix of bad and good cards. And so I feel very strongly that what Spirit's trying to say is hold on to that hope. There we go with hope again, right? Hold on to that hope of things getting better. Strengthen your spine. Stand up straight. Be willing to help your neighbor. Maybe you have a small garden in the backyard. You grow a few vegetables, a few herbs. Maybe your neighbors have chickens that have eggs that you can eat. Doesn't matter if you're the same race or the same color or the same religion or the same political party. What good neighbors do is they share with one another. A few eggs for a few veggies. And I think if we adopt that whole mentality of helping your neighbor, because in the long run, you're the one that benefits from that. Because then when you need help, who steps up? The neighbors that you helped in the past. I have been the recipient of that, and I know what it's like. And it really is a very humbling and very encouraging place to be. So don't lose hope. Never lose hope. Just know that we got rough times ahead. Cruelty is the point, according to the GOP. That's what they live for. I'm in a state with a fully controlled MAGA government. They're knocking each other down to see who can deliver the most cruelty the fastest. And how many people can they hurt in the process? That's kind of disgusting when you think about it. And that's not what we're supposed to do. So, hold on to that hope, like I said. We will get through this. We'll be stronger for it. And just try not to be caught in the crosshairs as we wait for our world to get off kilter and back on track. All right, y'all. My brain's starting to fudge out. So I'm going to say goodnight for now, and we'll talk to you soon.